out.
I walk around town with the pound strapped down to my side. No frontin' just in case I gotta smoke some. Round here, heads don't act the age. It might be another dead boy upon page. Into the cipher with your lighter. L's are ready, prepare for another all-nighter. But keep a watch for the cops, cause they rock glocks. Coming on the block trying to rock knots. Pigs be acting like they bigger than us niggas from the streets, cause we stalk mad deep in them walk beats. I guess them hold a grudge cause I won't budge. Playing tough, staring down the judge with my hands cuffed. Standing there with my nappy hair and my dirty gear. All a war year, now I'm up out of here. Pigs lift me up and down with the front. Is it because I'm down or is it because I'm from Bucktown? Home of the original gun clappers. 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 Home of the original gun clappers.
Got 5 MC that wanna contest we got your nooses ready hanging over the trees. Bring on your sounds and get drowned by my massive. Kill your body boy and hold your lover for hostage. Knock, knock, nigga, knock, that's 4 shots empty. On a violator that was sent out to get me. I'm told up from the flow up and everything's black, but still I'm on point, ready to buck, ain't nothing sweet, Jack. Bucktown, I represented on the love.
Yeah. You're now locked into Mike 757. I am your host, Mike Will, Mike Laurie, whichever one you know me by the best. Welcome and Happy New Year. Happy 2025 to everyone that's tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting. I hope that you had a great 2024. I hope you have a better 2025. Again, Happy New Year to everyone. Look, there was a few things that I've been working on to improve the show. We knocked out a few obstacles. We got over a few obstacles, and we're just going to keep adding to the show and taking it up a notch. I got a few things in store. To close out 2024, I wanted to do that. Just didn't couldn't really get around to doing it. So I kind of overstepped that and just tried to bring in the new year. A lot of things that's happened, man. A lot of things I want to talk about, some key things, a few shout outs, and we're going to jump right into it. We're going to keep it at the same time of adding a few things, we're going to keep things the same. We're going to keep them hip hop verses coming. I slipped a little bit on your shoe verses this time. But I put something else in place of that because I needed that little bit of time to elaborate on something else. And I think you'll appreciate it. I'm talking to a certain group of people, but then I'm talking to everyone because I'm pretty sure you know someone in that group of people. And we'll get to that. Let's jump right into a few of these sponsors. Well, let me clear that up. I've been calling them sponsors, but I should have been calling them small business owners that I like to give shout outs to and support their business. And if you don't know about their business or know about how they can support you, I'm gonna open that up to a lot more people that do have small businesses. You can inbox me through the comments. You can email me. You can hit me on Facebook or IG, and I'll make sure that I shout your business out. As you notice, when I do say give shout out to someone's business, I put their logo up there and tell you how to reach them. So we're gonna jump right into one of these to one of these sponsors. But first, cheers to 2025 and farewell to 2024. All right, we're going to jump into B3 Cornhole. B3 Cornhole is an online apparel shop where you can get customized cornhole boards, cornhole bags, and a few other things that you can get customized. He also does team T-shirts. If you're going into a tournament and you want to look uniformity, you can reach out to B3 Cornhole at b3cornhole.com and submit those orders. Email a guy by the name of Andy, and he'll take care of those requests. And again, as I always said, mention Mike 757. I'm not guaranteeing this, but you might get a discount. All right. Let's move into another small business owners. Got to get out of that. Get out of the habit of saying sponsors. Small business owners, and this is another online apparel shop. It's called ballhogs.com. Ballhogs also is another apparel shop where you can customize gifts. One of the biggest sellers on his website is slides. So if you want slides for yourself, if you want slides for your kids, if you want slides for a team of any sort, you can drop that request to brawlhogs.com, and you'll see all the other things that he has to offer. I don't have it with me right now, but if you are one of those personnel that like those wallets that you could take around and reflect people that's trying to steal identity and things like that, he has those as well. He can customize those to anything that you want on it. Your face, a logo, your logo, a team logo. I didn't say that, but he can take care of that, and you can reach him at ballhogs.com. Once again, mention Mike 757 and you might get a discount. All right. Not last, but for right now, before we step away, one more small business owner, and that is CNC Luxury Car Wash, located in Chesapeake, Virginia. This is actually a location, not an online car wash. Terrible joke, but okay. But CNC Luxury Car Wash is located on Pondexter and Liberty Street in Chesapeake, Virginia. Again, you can get your car detailed in 3 to 4 different levels, depending on what you want, but they will take care of you. And again, you mentioned to the owner, Mike 757 sent me, you might get a small discount. Not to mention on I don't want to get this wrong. I want to say it's Wednesday of every week you have a senior citizen discount. Once again, on Wednesdays, I believe it's a senior citizen discount. Hey, get those people out there and let them wash your car. One thing I would tell you, long as it's not raining, they're washing cars. All right. So we're going to come back to a couple more sponsors later into the show. But again, if you are a small business owner, it doesn't matter if you're struggling to get it out there or not, and you just want some a free spot just to help spread your business. Hey, I don't have a problem shouting you out. All right, I really don't. Just hit me up and I'll supply you the details, and then I'll make it happen from there. All right. So there's a major topic I want to get into, and I think it's going to be a good topic. But before I get into that, I got to get into these hip hop verses, man. I dig real deep in what I call, everybody else called the crate. So this is what I went with for your hip hop verses. All right. So you got the West Coast All-Stars. We are all in the same game versus BWP. If you don't know who BWP is the Boogie Down Production, Self-Destruction. That is your first verses. We are all in the same game by the West Coast All-Stars or BWP, Boogie Down Production, Self-Destruction. Your second song. This started a lot of controversy, so I ain't trying to bring up no old beefs or anything like that, but it definitely started some stuff. But you have the Dog Pound featuring Snoop Dogg with New York, New York versus CNN. If you don't know who CNN is, that's Capone and Noriega, and it's called LA, LA. And I'm pretty sure culturally biased, that's where I'm going to get my answers based off of where you're actually from. But those 2 dope tracks as well as the first 2. All right. The last verse, man, is this I don't know if this is going to be a geographic bias vote, but these were definitely 2 dope summer classics, and that's why I put them up against one another. And that is the DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince "Summertime," and or versus Little Rob "Summertime." And if you didn't hear any of those songs, Google them, go on YouTube Music, and listen to them before you cast your vote. Hey, leave those in the comments. I'll be a little bit more active on the IG in 2025. That's the plan. So I have that feedback to come back up here and we can talk about a few other things. There's a big, something I want to get into, just a little bit of sports, right? Just a little bit. And if you paid attention or listened to any of my previous episodes, I said Travis Hunter was going to win the Heisman, right? And he won it. A few people feel a few other things, however, people feel about it. The numbers for Cam Ward, the numbers for Jeffries, the running back. Then he was the running back from Arizona State that some people felt that, he wasn't even in the mix, but he should have been. But I called it. I felt like what Travis Hunter did for college football, everybody knows it doesn't come around that often. I believe the last 2 players to do that was Julius Peppers and what's his name? He was out of LSU. He was the cornerback, and I think he played a little bit of like slot receiver or something like that. But hey, congratulations to Travis Hunter. I hope he does well in the NFL. The only other reason I'm touching on sports right now, because we're going to come back in another episode, but that is going to be where you're going to get the surprise that I'm working on. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into sports. It's going to be real dialogue, just not me up here talking. But look, shouts out to my man, one of the 757 legends. And if you are anywhere on my social media, I created a picture of what I call the 757 legends. Now, hear me out. There's 2 people that I left off that doggone poster, picture, whatever you want to call it, portrait. And I dug deep and I was like, man, but I had already printed it. And if I revise it, I will put these 2 people up there. Shout outs to J.R. Reed and I just had his name on the tip of my tongue. DJ Dozier. Two other 757 legends. Now there's plenty. And if you've seen that picture, you've seen it. If I can, I am going to post it on somewhere up here, right? If I can drop a picture throughout the timeline, I'm going to drop one and you'll see it. And now if you're from the 757, even if you're not from the 757, you can email me and I'll gladly send you this portrait that I made. You know what I mean? I will hang it up so you can see it on the show. It'll be in the background. Just got to figure out how I'm going to do both of those. Yeah. I'm going to do this a little unorthodox because dealing with my logo that you often see in the back where it pops up. There's a business owner by the name of BNC Woodworks, and he is creating me he is taking my logo and actually carving it out of wood. I don't know what the finished product is going to be, but BNC Woodworks, and I'm more or less going to drop I'm going to drop his link in somewhere in the timeline as I'm talking about it. You'll see where you can actually go on his website and see the type of work that he has. And he's ready to do work. And again, he's another small business owner. And that's B&C Woodworks. All right. So we're going to jump right into the meat and potatoes of this particular episode. When I'm in a setting, in a group setting, right, with a few people, I analyze the conversations that I have with people, all the time. And I analyze them after I've, that conversation is passed. And in this particular setting, I was with a representation, a persons, a group of people that represented just about everybody, right? Maybe a few people were left out, but a question was posed to me that I never answered, but I answered it by asking questions or making a statement. And that question that was posed to me was, do men of color support women of color in positions of power and leadership? And I contemplated that, I had an answer, but then I was like, I'm not going to answer that question, right? This is something I said in my head, didn't say it out loud. And I said back to the group, I said, why is that question more directed to the black community? Why do they ask that more in the black community than any other community, right? And then I said, before you answer, I said, I'm not looking for you guys to answer, but I said, but let me tell you what I think about it. And I elaborated that I think we have the answer if we break down each community. I went from the white community to the Asian community to the Middle Eastern community, and another community or two, and here's what I said. And now understand that that this question was posed around election time, right? So I know y'all already know that. And I was ready for the conversation. I wouldn't get into a conversation that I'm not necessarily ready for, but it was a good question to ask. But I believe, answering their question with a question left them a little puzzled. And here's what I said. I said, and again, this is just Mike's opinion. I said, if we look at the Asian community, I don't know if I don't see Asian men supporting their, putting their women, Asian women in supporting them in positions of power or leadership. Because what you do see, and I'm going to put that like I did from the media, is that, the Asian man is more dominant, or I don't even really know the word that I'm looking for that, but I don't necessarily see Asian women in their countries, Asian countries in leadership position. But again, I'm not over there. In the Middle East, the Indian Middle Eastern people, it's kind of evident, that it kind of shows that they don't do that per se, is the men is more dominant, and here's what I said here's what my statement was about, the white community in the United States, right? And here's what I said. And again, this was all based around the election time. And here's something I said. And again, this is not to offend no one. This is just how I looked at the situation. And I also have an answer for what I'm about to say. I said, in this group of people, I said, white men of America showed us that they don't support, white women in leadership positions of power. I said, X amount of years ago, we had the chance to elect the first female president who happened to be white. And the polls showed that white men in America did not vote for her. So they chose the opposite. They chose a person that had zero skill or experience in that position or any position of government. That's what America chose. And I said America. I'm not putting that on anyone, any particular group of people, so on and so forth. I'm putting that on America. We chose someone that had zero experience and put them in the White House. Okay. They run. And we already know what happened. He loses to Biden. Trump loses to Biden. Okay. But again, 4 more years later, he runs against another female. This female, as we all know, happened to be black, and he wins again. So to me, it wasn't necessarily about color, right? And this is what I was telling the group. It was about her being a female. Point blank, period. We didn't want to see a female president of any color. That's what it came down to. So when I say to the group, do men of any color support women of leadership and or positions of leadership and or power? I said, I don't think we do. And it's evident. We had 2 chances to put a female in the highest office or highest position in the United States, and we failed to do that. Doesn't matter that Trump won. That's not even what I'm talking about. It was just that America as a whole did not want to see that. And to me personally, that's a shame. It really is. Now, one thing I would talk about, and I always say this, I'm not political. My profession, my profession for 21 years did not allow me to be anywhere near political. So I'm not political today, right? And I stay out of that type of stuff, man. It's just not my thing. But I will talk about it in an environment where people will have level-headed conversation and not trying to, persuade you in any kind of way, because that's not the conversations I would get in. I will excuse myself quickly. But here is what I want to point out to my fellow veterans and those that are veterans that are retired. I'm sitting there and I was listening to a billionaire basically say that veterans that are retired make too much money. I'm gonna say that again so that sinks into you, And I'm talking to my retirees and my veterans right now, and a billionaire told us that we make too much money and that they were trying to take one of those checks away from retirees and veterans that are retiree and veteran and make you choose which check you want. That's crazy. So if you voted, make sure you understand, if they do take one of them checks away from it, that's what you voted for. And I'm going to leave that at that. Here, that's another question, and definitely a round table discussion with veterans that are retired, or retired veterans, put it that way. Whatever way it will have to have a conversation with those that draw those 2 checks, your retiree check and your disability check, right? So that is basically the meat and potatoes. Hopefully you took something a little bit out of that. I need that feedback if you want to talk about that, especially the question that I told you that I didn't answer, but answered with a question. And I really would like a lot of feedback from that, see how the females feel about that, how some males still feel about that. Hey, I'm all about being out front. Hey, you vote, you vote. You know what I mean? Whoever you voted for, that is your privilege, man. That is your right. I would never tell you that you voted wrong, right? No matter who you voted for. That's just not me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not political by no means. But we're gonna move on from that. Now, that was 2 parts. Everybody, if you've been on the show before, I give a story from the life and times of Mike Lowrey. So that was you get a bonus this episode. You get 2 stories from the life and time of Mike Lowrey. And that was one because, that happened to me not too long ago. Like I said, in a setting of people of all walks of life. And that was made the conversation in the setting pretty good. You know what I mean? Because there was, like I said, it was basically a representative of all of cultures there, all people from all walks of life. That's what I like to say. So it wasn't no one-sided conversation, and just a healthy conversation. And if we can have more of that, and hey man, a lot of these walls will be broken down, but yeah. So I'm gonna share with you another story from the life and times of Mike Lowrey. And this one is it ain't touching, but hopefully it's a helping story of to veterans. I forgot what street I was on, but I made a right turn, and it wasn't a very large street, but and it was a semi-busy street. But some of my fellow veterans will know what I'm about to go at. So I turn this corner, and I come to not a screeching halt, but I come to a slow stop. And what I saw off to the right side of the road, right by that white line, right, it was a pressure cooker right on the side of the road. And anybody that was a driver in other places, you know exactly where I'm going with this. So I came to a stop, and it may have all have been about maybe 10 to 15 seconds, and my brain processed that, I am not where I was. I know where I'm at, and luckily it wasn't a time of the day, I think, where there was a lot of traffic going down that particular road, although it is at certain points of the day. And but I know I came to a stop. And if somebody was behind me, they would probably beep the horn and be like, what the hell is he doing? But it was about a 10 to 15 seconds that, I processed. Now my brain processed quick, but it was just somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds. And I'm like, no, you good. But I would tell you, I did go into the other lane and kind of like got out of the right lane. I went to the left lane. So, but I get a laugh out of that. There's a brother of mine that said he is not ready to talk about some of the things that he experienced, but he listens to me. He listened to a couple episodes where I have talked about some of the things that me and him both experienced. So just know that if you're a fellow veteran out there, just know that it ain't just you. You know what I mean? And my days are pretty good. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you, be up front with you. My days are pretty good. But I know there's some guys out there where days are not good. So if you do have a veteran that is a friend or a family member, hey, you don't have to pry to make sure that they're okay. You know what I mean? And if you see them do something weird, what you may think is weird, it's not necessarily weird to them. But yeah. So maybe I'll tell you in another episode. I'll tell you, a little bit more details on some of the things that happen in our experience. But I'd rather have one or two or three of my fellow friends, fellow brothers that shared those same experiences or have some of their own experience. And you can hear it firsthand, just not from me, but that is where I'm moving to in this new year. In this new year, yes, we're going to bring some of that stuff to light. Yeah, I think I kept you long enough. Again, you know that this show is built to not keep you long, okay. See, I'm trying to make sure I line up the next song, your outgoing song, and there's a reason for this outgoing song as well, and I'm about to get into that as we speak. So, this show is also dedicated to Donnell Hicks, who died January of 1993. He is the first person that I pretty much said rest in peace to. But rest in heaven, rest in peace to Donnell. Once again, January 1993. He's been gone that long. And as we wrap this show up, I want to leave you again with my slogan. For all those that grew up on 4 chicken wings, a rice, a 40 ounce, and a nickel bag to get nice, this is Mike 757 saying good night.
Just wanted to smack a nigga up, you know what I'm saying? Crime syndicate shit, though. Niggas know us. You know what I'm saying? My piece put me on, for real. But, yo, shit's fucked up, yo. You know what I'm saying? Religion's all good, but where was heaven, yo? An ordinary cat from out of projects since I was younger though. Mom raising children's pops dipped a long time ago. In my mind I see flashback. I had no fancy clothes. Skinny, ugly, naughty head nigga. Crying with snotty no. Even though my father neglect, he paid the child support. Hadn't seen him all these years. I hug his ass in court. Always said I'm coming to get you, and I'll be waiting too. Holiday and birthday presents was never coming through. Remember at the age 13, I started smoking weed, hanging out with cats that was older. Started to run the street, dropped out of high school, selling drugs, impressing chicks. Spent most my cheddar on gear. My mans was buying whips, New York, Jamaica, Miami niggas. Flooded Virginia quick, consigning work only if buying. Prices was high as shit. Remember when I first got hit, I seen the iron spit. 50 cash been in one corner bleeding with pellet hit. My man Sean, he held on strong. Slug burned through his lower backside, cracked his spine, exit his arm. Lost him twice on the hospital table. And when he died, I cried my eyes out. I couldn't take it. Damn. But the same things continue to happen. Niggas got bust. I'm a kid with a grown man's mind, turning corrupt, playing innocent. In front of my elders, I was running with them cats that be robbing too. I couldn't tell them if my name was up in any tight trouble. My moms would tell me, just like your brothers, into some shit, go get a job or something. Just a little bum on the street, not working hard for nothing. Scratch I made whenever pumping. I hit her off with something, making sure the crib stay tight. For real, I won't no dummy. Send me where you getting this money. I watch a car be lying, saying anything size drug selling. My sister seen me on the block, transact with fiends, be saying I'ma tell it. Growing up was hell, no doubt. I wonder where was heaven. For real though, yo. Always look for that place called heaven. Who's never there. I see my mans and them just get blasted on the block. You know what I'm saying? I go in the crib, I got stains all on my shirt. You know what I'm saying? And my mom's knew this type of shit I was going through, because I was a project. Now I'm a grown man, still it's like life dealt me the wrong hand. Cash that was my man be frontin' or either found dead. It sounds sad, incarcerated, just turned a new dad. Remembering them long 10 months from slinging crack bags. Mom put me out with the quickness, carry your black ass, but still coming back to the crib. Oh, so you back in? Ma, I just came to holler at you, see how you doing. Nothing's changed after all these years. Still hustle for some gear, smoke weed, still drink beers. I tell you from my heart, yo, times I'm like, yeah. If heaven was a place on this planet, you find me right there. Since a kid, though, all I wanted to roll with